Alright, you beautiful people, welcome to today's video. This is the Spirit of James channel, and today we're going to be talking about how to get absolutely hench arms, just fucking jacked, right? And to do that we're going to start with my fitness journey. And at the very start, I started working out when I went to my university. And I only cared about two things, and that was getting a big chest and getting big arms. And I didn't focus on anything else for like the first few months. Like I barely did any shoulder training, barely any back, barely any legs. I do it, but for very short periods of time. So obviously I'm about 2 years into this, 2 years into training, and I understand the reasons, right? The mechanics of why the body does what it does, how to stimulate muscle growth, how to actually consistently overload the muscle, hypertrophy. So you're adding more reps, you're adding more sets, or you're adding more weight to put more pressure on the muscle to target it, so that you can add more muscle on top. So the tissue, the muscle fibers, they break down, and that you can repair them once you've left the gym. So I'm going to break down a few tips to help you guys, because of course I want everyone to get fucking jacked. I want all of us to get ripped and rich. Let's fucking do it. Number one is time under tension. A lot of you guys are fucking ego lifting and trying to pick up weights you can't move, or like picking up weights you can move and then just like throwing it about, right? Just going crazy. And I have a dumbbell here. I'm actually going to show you. So this dumbbell, I think this dumbbell only weighs about 9 kilograms, right? But this is something I started on myself during actually kind of before my fitness journey. I think it was my mom's or my dad's, and I did quite a few sets of this before I went into the gym. But regardless, I'm going to show you now. So what I see a lot of guys doing is that, let's say for bicep curls, right? And I'm just going to bring my bicep down so you can see it. For bicep curls, they'll like throw it up like this and go like, ooh. And that's not going to stimulate the muscle because you're not properly targeting the long head of the bicep. So what you want to do is you want to slowly bring it up like this. Slowly bring it up and wait until you feel that squeeze at the top there. That squeeze, that's when you know you've hit it. And then properly lower it down on the decentric. So you're basically fighting that. You'll be fighting that in the last couple of reps, because gravity is going to try to bring this down, and you're going to try to push back up. So then all you keep doing is you keep squeezing that until you hit failure. There you go. Instead of like throwing it like this.
Yeah, man! Lightweight!
So that's number one. Time under tension. You need to make sure every rep takes about 5 or 6 seconds. And now personally, I've evolved to use the barbell. I don't use the dumbbells anymore for training biceps, apart from, unless it's a warm-up set or it's just kind of a finisher, just kind of a burn after. I normally opt to use the barbell, and then I grip it kind of somewhat close here, and I pull it, I squeeze it to my face, and I lower it, and I do it in the squat rack, because then you have those safety bars, and you're able to go squeeze, and you're able to go down, and it's just a much better alternative. And that's going to be in my course that I'm going to be dropping, so be on the lookout for that. So that's number one, time under tension. Number two is pretty obvious, but proper exercises. For arms, it's not really too complicated. You need your bicep curls. To work the bicep, you need your tricep, either skull crushers or tricep pushdowns, and that's going to work. That's going to work the tricep here. And then, this is a very interesting one, and I learnt this when I was studying from Mike Mentzer. Dips. Dips are fantastic because they work a lot on the muscles, but you can also use them, depending how you do it in isolation. You can use it to work the chest, because if you think about it, if you're pressing down, you're getting a really good stretch in the chest. But if you also do them a certain way, you can get a really good stretch on the tricep. So I don't have any bars here to show you the form, but you can go figure that one out as well. And I will be including that in my course for arms and chest. So that's two things there. You've got the time under tension, and you've got which exercises you need to do. Third one is you guys aren't consuming enough protein. So I've also written this one down. So you should aim to eat around 0.8 to 1.3 grams of protein per pound of your body weight daily. Because if you think about it, your body is constantly trying to recover, and that's if you're training hard. I mean, it's recovering anyway, right? Because you could always be under a state of illness or sickness or tiredness, or it's constantly, cleansing itself, replenishing. That's why we go to sleep. That's why we're recommended 8 to 9 hours. And that's another one I was going to say, get your sleep as well. I'll talk about that in a second. So you should be eating more protein. So me personally, right, depending on my goal, but I'm about 6'3", not flexing, just what it is, right? And I hover around 200 pounds body weight. I'm used to kilos, so that should be like 90 kilos. And I'm just about to start kind of like cutting, which is why I don't have abs, and kind of flex them a little bit. Yeah, you see something. I think I'm about like maybe anywhere from 18 to 22% body fat. Yeah, I've no understanding of how to like measure my body fat, but there you go. So that's another one. Eat more protein and get this from good sources. You want them from rich essential amino acid protein sources, and you get that from meat, from dairy, right? Eggs are fantastic for protein. They're a great all-rounder because you get carbs in them, you get protein, get all the other macronutrients you need, your vitamins. It's fantastic. Same with meat. Like, you guys aren't eating enough meat. Like the pork chops, the chicken. If you're trying to cut, go for something with less fat in it, like turkey. Or you can even get low fat percentage mince, for example. I'm not quite sure how they even manufacture that. I'm still a bit dodgy on that one. When I go to Aldi and I look at mince, and it's like 5% low fat mince versus like 10 or 15% low fat mince. Like, what the fuck are you doing with the cows, right? It doesn't make sense. But anyway, so eating more dairy and more meat. Obviously, in divergence to your actual needs, whether you're trying to cut or whether you're trying to bulk, whether you should be eating less or more. But in general, most of you guys aren't getting, number one, enough protein, and number two, enough meat. So look into that in your diets, because that's going to help you recover. Which then moves us on to the next phase, recovery. A lot of you guys are doing way too much high volume workouts, okay? So that's another thing in itself, high volume. That's going to be in my shameless plug. That's going to be in my course as well when I drop it, because that's what I used to do. I used to do way too many sets, and I wasn't taking them anywhere near close enough to failure. And the irony there is, if I did whatever I was doing, 20 sets in that day or something, and I took them all to failure, I'd be burnt out. Because I'm not a pro bodybuilder, I'm not taking steroids, my body can't recover that fast. You see, most people don't realize this, but our bodies basically have a set recovery limit that not many people talk about. So trying to do more sets or any kind of metric isn't actually beneficial in the sense if your body only has a limited capacity to recover, which again is why sleep is so important. You should be getting 8 to 10 hours minimum. So of course, sometimes you're going to get 6 to 7, that's fine, but just aim for 8 to 10, because that gives your body as much rest as possible it needs to recover, because the whole point, people don't understand this, the whole point of going to the gym is to stimulate protein muscle synthesis, right? It's to stimulate that chain of amino acids in your body to actually start building the muscle. You don't grow in the gym, you grow outside the gym, in the kitchen, or fucking sleeping, right? Because in the kitchen you're fueling your body with the right things, and when you're in your bed, when you're asleep, your body is in a calmer state, and it's able to actually do the work it needs to do, right? Of course it'll like prepare itself during the day, But just, you know, all the sciencey terms and shit, it's much better when you're sleeping. Okay, that's when the brute force, shall we say, of the protein synthesis gets done. So is that everything? So we've got the time under tension, we've got eating more protein, we've got the exercises that you need. Also, an added one, I'm going to put this in, I've already put this into my course, but pull-ups are a fantastic way to work the biceps, because it works them unilaterally. You don't think about it. You can also do them on the back machine when you have the back, and you go pull down like this, close grip pull down. You look at it, look at how my biceps get engaged there, and they squeeze the top, and I work them, I pull it like that. So you can also, of course, always do your bicep curls. They will be one of the best. But you can also do that back pull down close grip, or the pull up bar. It kind of works the same movement. So that's everything that I have to talk to you guys about today. I'm working on a lot of stuff, and I'm very, very excited for this year. It's going to absolutely fucking crush this shit. Right? We're getting more jacked. We're getting more rich. We're getting more popularity. We're getting everything. So stay tuned for this course, because this is going to be great. I'm still a bit confused on what to call it. Maybe I might call it Secrets to Building Muscle, or like Beginner's Guide to Working Out. But it's going to be completely everything. It's going to go over all the topics I was discussing today, with sleep, with diet, with my own personal training, all the lessons I've learned over my 2+ years of training, of being an athlete, right? I also do running as well, which is why I call myself an athlete, right? I do running, and then I do weightlifting. I also cycle and other stuff as well. So yeah, stay tuned for that. If you look in the link description, follow my socials, and if you want to do my coaching, any questions you want, any questions about life, I'll fucking solve them for you. Okay, I'm a fucking genius in that regard. So check the description. If you like the video, leave a comment, leave a like, and I appreciate it. See you in the next one.